The sun was shining through the dense foliage of Yellowstone National Park as 5 tourists walked into the forest laughing and chatting. A tough guy named Mark, an experienced hiker, walked ahead. The rest were his adventure-seeking friends from the city. Suddenly a huge grizzly bear jumped out from behind the bushes, its fur standing on end, its eyes blazing with rage. A scream of horror pierced the silence. Mark, assessing the situation, commanded everyone to freeze. The bear, however, was not going to retreat. It stood on its hind legs, demonstrating its impressive size, and let out a menacing roar. One of the tourists, frightened, began to run, which turned out to be a fatal mistake. The bear reacted instantly, rushing after the fugitive. Mark, realizing that there was no time, grabbed a flare from his backpack and lit it. The bright light and hissing scared the bear away, causing it to stop for a moment. It was enough for the hikers to gather together and slowly back away, heading back to the trail, keeping their eyes on the enraged beast. The bear seemed hesitant to pursue the group, but it wasn't going to leave either. It growled and stamped its paws, showing who was boss. Mark knew that the slightest mistake could cost them all their lives. He continued to back away slowly, trying to maintain eye contact with the bear and speak in a calm, confident tone. The other hikers, trembling with fear, tried to keep up with Mark. Each step seemed like an eternity. Their hearts pounded in their chests, and images of a possible attack flashed through their heads. Finally, they reached the trail. Mark, not losing his vigilance, continued to back away until they were at a safe distance. The bear, having made sure that his territory was protected, turned and disappeared into the forest. A wave of relief swept through the group. They collapsed to the ground, catching their breath and realizing how close they had been to tragedy. Mark, having made sure that everyone was safe, took out the first aid kit and treated the scratches and abrasions received during the escape. This incident became a lifelong lesson for them. They realized that wildlife does not forgive mistakes and that it is important to be prepared for any unexpected event. After providing first aid, Mark took out his satellite phone and contacted the rescue service, reporting what had happened and asking for confirmation that the area was safe. The wait dragged on excruciatingly long. Every rustle of leaves seemed suspicious. When the rescue team finally arrived, the tourists felt safe. The rescuers gave instructions on how to behave in the forest and warned about possible dangers. They also offered to accompany the group to the nearest settlement. Along the way, the tourists shared their impressions of the experience, realizing how lucky they were. They thanked Mark for his composure and ability to act in a critical situation. Upon returning home, each of them rethought their views on nature and their role in it. They became more responsible tourists, respecting wild animals and observing all safety precautions. This incident remained forever in their memories, reminding them of the power of